Here's the deal. If you're Jason Kidd and the Dallas Mavericks, the expectation, Tim Legler's right, is that you're going to be horrid defensively. As I articulated yesterday, Wendy, two legs. You can be such a juggernaut offensively that helps your defense because it pressurizes the opposition to be more efficient because they know they can't stop you. That is what the plan is for the Dallas Mavericks to be efficient. I am not nearly as worried about Kyrie Irving as you explained. Legitimately, I get where you're coming from, but I'm not nervous. Here's the reason why. Kyrie wants to get paid. You have no shot in hell of getting paid if this doesn't work for him. If Kyrie Irving doesn't show up and show out, especially similar to what we saw him do in Brooklyn this year, he's got no shot at getting his money. It's just that simple. Mark Cuban, Nico Harrison, those brothers not going to pay him. But we also, I think that so many people have been focused on Kyrie, they're not focusing enough on Dallas and why Dallas has elected to do this. Dallas wants to see if Luka's going to give up the ball. Dallas wants to see how Luka's going to look playing alongside another superstar. Dallas wants to see what else Luka has in his repertoire, because if anybody's qualified to know what it's going to take to be a champion as a point guard, it would be Jason Kidd. And so when you consider what Wendy just pointed out, how you've got additional first-round picks down the pike, and you've got the prospect of being able to play in free agency because you could free up some money if indeed stuff doesn't work with Kyrie, or if Kyrie says, you know what, I like the situation, but I like L.A. even more. That is not beyond the realm of comprehension. Dallas is not L.A. Now, to some people, that does not matter. To some people like me, no state income taxes. That would definitely be a prevalent thought in my mind. I would think about there's no state income tax in the state of Texas, where in California they'll take most of my money. And that would play a role for me. Others would be like the weather, the sunshine, and other amenities that don't need to be mentioned. This would be a perfect place for me to be, and this is where I'd rather be rather than Dallas. We don't know. The point is, if you're the Dallas Mavericks, you're playing with house money, because you got the specter of him potentially wanting to stay. You have to have him produce at a high level to elevate his marketability. You have the opportunity to let him go and free up cap space for yourself and start anew to some degree with additional picks. You've got all the options on your table. And at the same time, you're deciphering more about Luka Doncic and what he's going to require in order for this team to be successful. I think Dallas is in a very potent situation. They are playing with house money because the one thing Kyrie can't afford to do, and I personally think he's incapable of doing, is going out there and playing like garbage. He's just too spectacular. He's too sensational. He's going to show up and show out in Big D. There's no doubt about that. The question is, what is that going to do for the Dallas Mavericks, and specifically Luka Doncic, because he's the franchise and those two egos. Kyrie, why would Kyrie take a back seat to Luka Doncic? Kyrie is just as spectacular. He can score just as well. And on top of it all, he's a champion. Luka's trying to become one. Why would Kyrie take a back seat? That's where it gets very interesting.